Stranger Things Day is less than 100 days away. We are 30 weeks into filming for Stranger Things Season 5, and we are getting Season 5 next year in 2025. So of course today is a Stranger Things Season 5 filming update because the hype is only going to grow from here. Before we get into it, of course, be sure to drop a like, subscribe, and join my Discord down below. And without further ado, let's get right into the video. Obviously, the main thing I want to talk about today is Linda Hamilton and her role in Stranger Things Season 5. Linda Hamilton was a new cast member that was announced last year around this time in the summer of 2023. And if you don't know who Linda Hamilton is, she had a big role in the Terminator movies back in the 1980s where she played sort of a villain military role. So a lot of Stranger Things fans automatically affiliated Linda Hamilton with a military role in Stranger Things Season 5 and her being a villain. But this week it was confirmed by Stranger Things spoilers, who I can confirm has actual sources, that Linda Hamilton's character will be a doctor/scientist and not a military member, which I think is actually big news. Because Linda Hamilton, the hype around her new casting announcement was pretty big. I mean, Stranger Things at the time solely announced her new casting. So obviously she's going to have a good sized role in Season 5. And with her not being a military member and instead being a doctor and scientist, this leaves up a lot of questions and for me personally, made me think of a lot of theories. And one of the theories I wanted to talk about is the same theory that I talked about whenever she got casted back in 2023, and here's the clip of that. Now I'm going to discuss what I want to happen and what I think is going to happen. So what I want to happen is, no question about it, I want her to be either Brenner's ex-wife or wife. If I had to choose between wife or ex-wife, I would say wife, because that would be very interesting, because it really wouldn't make sense why she wasn't in the picture then if they're still married, unless he hid all that stuff from her, which I highly doubt he did, or would. So I would love for her to be a wife and a villain, I think. But yeah, I would like to see her be a hero as well, but if she was a villain, which I think she will be, I think my personal favorite would be her being Dr. Brenner's current wife. And sort of filling that role for Dr. Brenner as well. I think that I would like that the most. So obviously I think that she could definitely be affiliated with Dr. Brenner in some way, shape, or form, whether she's his ex-wife or current wife, or like a Connie Frazier role where she's just high in the Hawkins lab totem pole and is coming back, or she could potentially just have no affiliation with Dr. Brenner, but sort of fill that Dr. Brenner role and be like a part of a separate Hawkins lab community / workforce that's like located somewhere else, and Dr. Owens called her and said, hey, we need help to train this superhuman, and she's just coming into town to help with that. So I think she's going to play like a Dr. Brenner role in Season 5. Now that doesn't necessarily mean that she's going to be a for sure villain either, because although Dr. Brenner was a villain, if she's Dr. Brenner's ex-wife or current wife, there's a good chance that she is the opposite of Dr. Brenner in the way that, like, she's not evil, especially since she hasn't showed up in the show until now. And if she doesn't have any affiliation with Dr. Brenner and she's still a doctor or scientist and she's first coming into the picture now, it's more likely for her to be sort of a good person rather than a bad person, because she's just coming in to help. Unless she's like an actual Dr. Brenner replacement and she's just this big bad evil coming into town and taking over the whole operation. Either way, her being a doctor/scientist instead of a military member, in my opinion, is massive news because of the things that I just talked about. Now let's get into the filming updates and the huge news that we got from the Netflix CEO himself about Stranger Things Season 5. Before I get into this filming update, I want to shout out my newsletter. And I know you're saying, why are you promoting your newsletter? No one cares. Well, mainly just because if you love Stranger Things, you're gonna love this newsletter. Every single Sunday of every single week from now until the release of Stranger Things Season 5, I will be releasing a new discussion / theory regarding Stranger Things Season 5, a new fun fact about Stranger Things, and a new filming update. I don't make these YouTube videos every single week about Stranger Things 5 filming updates, and I do have sources surrounding Stranger Things Season 5, so all the information that I get on a weekly basis will be put in that newsletter on the filming update section. And like I mentioned before, this is a free newsletter. All you have to do is go to relay.news, search relay.news in your web browser, and you'll be brought to this page right here. and you'll see where it says submit your email. You just type in your email, click submit, and you'll be signed up to the newsletter. Every single week on Sunday at 12 p.m. EST, you will receive the newsletter. I've been going for 11 weeks now, so it's not going anywhere. It's only going to get better and more efficient, and hopefully in the future, I will be doing multiple newsletters per week about multiple different shows. Now let's get back to the filming update. The first thing I wanted to talk about was the filming at the Upside Down Church has now resumed, or it's going to be resuming this week. And the reason this is pretty big news is because, number one, this got halted in June because certain actors weren't able to get around their schedules, so obviously it's a pretty big deal to film at this place. And we've heard from multiple different sources that at this certain filming location, there will be a lot of spoilers being filmed. And obviously everything filmed is going to be spoilers, but the fact that they mentioned that probably means that someone's going to die, or there's going to be a reveal of a death, and there's probably going to be a funeral like at this church, or someone's going to die at this church. Basically what I'm saying is that at this church that looks haunted, there's going to be death involved. Surprise. So that's huge news that the filming is now resuming this week at that location. Also in July, I know it might not have seemed like we got a lot of filming updates, but that's mainly just because the filming crew and the production crew was tired of people leaking, so they got more tight on security, and they're really cracking down on people like flying drones over the place and everything. So they're really just focusing on not letting things get out, because this is the final season of Netflix's biggest show of all time. And throughout the month of July, most of the filming that's been done has been done at night and military shoots. So expect a large majority of season 5 to be revolved around the military. I'm kind of nervous about that because I don't want it to take up like more than 5 episodes, just because like I feel like this is Stranger Things. There's bigger and badder villains than just the military and the government. You know, there's stuff way above that, like Vecna and, you know, all the Mind Flayer and all these other supernatural creatures and demons. Like, those are the real villains. So I don't want the military thing to take up the entire thing, but I don't think it will. And by far the biggest news that we got regarding Stranger Things season 5 in July was by the Netflix CEO himself. He said in an interview that Stranger Things season 5 will be happening in 2025. And I know most of us already knew this, but there were still doubters out there saying, oh, we're not getting this till 2026. There's no way they're going to be able to get the editing done, blah, blah. I'm telling you guys that Netflix has made Stranger Things a top priority, and they have as many editors on board as they could possibly get, because this show does require a lot of editing, and they wanted to get it out to us as soon as possible. This is not just any other season. This is the final season of Netflix's biggest original in the history of Netflix, a multi-billion dollar company. So this isn't just another show. This is Stranger Things, the final season. So now I'm going to talk about the release dates. I know I've talked about this in the past, but regarding this news, 2025, I'm going to mention it again. In my previous release date video, where I solely focused on the release dates, I talked about May of 2025, July of 2025, and November of 2025 being potential release dates for 3 separate volumes. And I think that's still a massive possibility. But I recently heard from some of my sources regarding Stranger Things season 5 that we could potentially see volume 1 as soon as spring break of 2025. I mean, think about it, guys. They've been filming for over 7 months now. They have definitely gotten at least the first 3 episodes filmed. So for the next 6 months, they could solely focus on editing those episodes just to get it out to us in March of 2025. And if we are going to have 3 volumes, it's most likely going to be 3 episodes, and then finish off with 2 episodes, because there's going to be 8 episodes in season 5, like as a total. So I think a new possible release date schedule, that this is sort of far-fetched, but not really. It seems realistic from my sources, I guess you could call them. March of 2025, we receive 3 episodes in volume 1. July of 2025, we receive 3 more episodes, volume 2. In November 6th of 2025, we get the last 2 episodes, which will be like movie type lengths. And if the last 2 episodes are in November 26th or November 6th, 2025, you have to realize that that's over like a year away. So from now until then, they have over a year and 4 months to not only finish filming those, but also finish editing those. And I know some of you are going to say that's not doable, but trust me, it's 100% doable. So personally, I think that's pretty massive news. That's pretty much all I got today. I just wanted to talk about the filming update, my thoughts on Linda Hamilton, and my theory that I made a year ago, and I wanted to bring that back up to the surface because I think it's going to come true. And I wanted to talk about my newsletter because it's going to be awesome over these next 50 weeks or whatever until Stranger Things 5 ends. So yeah, I appreciate you guys. Be sure to drop a like, subscribe, turn on notifications, join my Discord, check out my newsletter, check out my website, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace out.